Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the JJ Unplugged show. I'm Jake,
And I'm Jenny.
and today we are going to be talking about holding it together until we're not. So, what we're going to be talking about essentially, do we feel like we actually ever have it all together? Also, let's talk about some appearances versus reality. Like
Mhm.
how do we start our mornings? Where do we get like random stress from? And also, how do we show up in life and at work? And really, this whole thing is so that we might be trying to look perfect, but in
Mhm.
reality, what is actually happening inside?
Mhm.
So, quick question for you. Do you feel like you have got it all together?
Today or in general?
You were off today,
Absolutely not.
so today.
Yeah, yeah. Today, no, not even actually. I'm back to work from a sabbatical and I definitely don't have it all together. And I definitely feel like I've been chasing my tail since I got back. And having today off, I thought, oh, great. I'm going to have spa treatments. I'm going to get some time with a friend. And when in reality, like I wanted to relax, but I was lying there getting a massage, and all of the stuff that you don't want to pop into your head was popping into my head. I was thinking about work, I was thinking about college, I was thinking about every little thing to the point that I had to keep catching myself and go, just breathe, just relax, turn your brain off. And eventually I did. And it was nice, and I think I actually woke, I think I actually woke myself up snoring at one point. It was like, oh, sorry, I was mouth breathing there. Oh, that's awkward. Um, but I'm tired today because I actually stopped. I stopped work and I stopped my routine. So it allowed that tiredness to set in. So I definitely don't feel like I have it together today. I feel very low on the battery,
Hmm,
which clearly needed to happen.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm still in that go,
Yeah.
go, go moment because I have one more day left before I go on holidays.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have so many things to do. Oh, I just need to like review some things for work, grade some cases, create like a handover so that other people know what to expect and so on. And then with looking after a couple of other people from other teams as well, having like meetings with them and that today was actually funny. I had a meeting today with somebody, and they came in like I could their stress, taste it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a virtual meeting, and just talking extremely fast and just kind of trying to get through everything. And I was like, hey, hey, breathe. And then we actually started to like break things down, trying to set like achievable targets that don't feel overwhelming. And I'm like, how does this person have so many things on their plate? So many things, which are all on top of their regular job.
Yeah.
And they were apologizing, like, "I'm sorry for ruining your day." I was like, you did not ruin my day. Absolutely not.
It's funny, isn't it? And the more you, I suppose, work the job that we work, you really, really learn that you have to have boundaries. And it's very, very hard to have those when you're naturally a very giving person and you want to do well and you want everyone around you to do well and you want things to just work and be the best that they can be. So saying no can feel very hard. But you drown like in the efforts to try keep it all together,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Exactly. And you know what? The day was draining, not because it was like hard or whatever. It was just because I really had to keep it together for most of the day. And here's an example, right? Great that we haven't even started the first topic, but here's an example. When we went to Italy, right? And
Yeah.
we could not find the bus, couldn't find anything. I was stressing out. You didn't know that I was
Yeah.
stressing out, which I find so weird because I was
No.
so clearly stressed out.
No, you weren't clearly. You were, it was internal.
But like you kept it calm, collected, and that was
Yeah.
necessary. I know that whenever, what was this? I don't actually remember which trip this was, but when I went on a trip and we couldn't find anything, also it was we couldn't find a bus or the taxi that we booked, something. And if the other person's stressing, I'm immediately trying to keep calm. It's like, right, two of
That's what I,
us
yeah.
two of us
Mm-hmm.
will never get anything sorted by stressing out. One of us needs to keep
Yeah.
it together. And then afterwards, when you get into the hotel room or in bed after work or whatever, and you just
Mm-hmm.
kind of let go, then
Yeah. Yeah.
suddenly it hits you and you're like, oh my God, I am wrecked.
Yeah. Exhausted. And that's so funny. Oh, look, I'm turning into you now. That's so funny. But is it funny though? Like, not funny, haha. I was thinking it as you were saying that earlier. I was thinking, yeah, if I was calm, that's my go to in a situation. If someone's freaking out, I will naturally, my nervous system will go into a space of, okay, I need to be solid, I need to be grounded, and I will be everything that they need in that moment. I'll just chill. I'll
Yep.
just, because we can't both be freaking out. But if someone's calm when something mad happens, then it's like my body goes, oh, we can freak out. And I freak out because the other person's calm. So it's like it's a real, like, what's the situation? And I'll read it, like, I'll scan it. And clearly my nervous system will scan it and go, okay, I have to be calm,
Hmm. But
you
then
know?
how hard is it afterwards? It might not be hard during the moment. I know it's not hard for me during the moment.
Um, it wasn't hard for me to remain calm when that happened for us when we were away because I know you're a very organized individual and you know 9 times out of 10 when we're together you have your shit together. You're so on it. You're ahead of the pack there. That Virgo rising, you're like it's done. But like for example when I was away with my mum and we went to Milan and there was the whole issue with the hotel. My whole nervous system went into like fright or flight. I freaked the fuck out because I kept thinking I've made a mistake. Oh my God, where are we going to stay? I have to keep my mom safe. I did this. My dad's going to be so disappointed in me if anything happens. Like what I went to all of the worst case scenarios in that moment and I lost my shit. And my mom stayed really calm and she was like, it's going to be fine. We're going to figure it out. I booked another hotel when I was in the hotel I thought was mine, but it wasn't. And I was like, okay, it's fixed. It's fixed. I don't give a shit about the cost. It's fixed. I'll always have money behind me because that's my security. Fine. Booked that. We were in the car on the way to that when they emailed me off of booking.com and basically sent me an Italian message. And when I translated, it said, we've cancelled your reservation. That room wasn't actually available and it was still on our site. And when I translated it, my heart literally dropped out of my arsehole. I was like, oh, and I just turned around and went, oh my God, ma'am, that they're after cancelling that one. And my mom went, oh no. And that was the first sign of panic I'd seen from her. And she never panics. She's always really calm. So this was a weird one actually. I actually panicked even more then. I went, oh no, now my mom's panicking and she's usually really calm. Even in the worst situation, she's calm and she's not calm anymore. So when we did get it sorted, I got it all sorted. It took 30, 40 minutes or whatever. At the dead of night, like it was like 10 o'clock at night, I was like, oh. I remember when we finally got into the hotel room, the third hotel we'd gotten to, I got it sorted. It cost me nearly the bones of maybe €1,000 at this point. I
Oh
didn't give a
God.
shit. I just went, oh, we're safe.
Yeah.
We're in a space. I don't give a shit. And I remember lying down in the bed and I could just feel myself just going, oh, like and my mom was like, do what you need to do. I was like, I need to go and I need to regulate. I need to actually bring myself back down and I need to regulate. So I needed to go into the like bathroom, sit there with my head in my hands and just I wasn't gonna cry because I was too hot. I was too up here to cry. So I had to just breathe and get back into my body because I was so out of my body at that point. I had to bring myself back in. You know?
Yep. Yep. Those
Yeah.
those are hard moments. But somehow we're still here and somehow we have survived.
Barely. Barely.
But yeah, so keeping it together, still keeping it together. I think I'm going to be keeping it together until I'm on the plane.
Yes.
For me, that's the most important part because I immediately am imagining that probably all of the people that I'm flying with are going to be stressing out about something.
So you're going to have to just be solid.
Yep, times 4.
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
when I'm on the plane, then I have like what, 8 hours to
Yep.
just
Yep.
regroup, relax,
Yep.
probably sleep. What are we dropping spoons?
Sorry, my plate is there.
Yeah, just regroup. And then afterwards, still a little bit of a push because you need to get to the hotel. And then I think we're going to Walmart the first evening
Love
because
that. Why
I
not?
I don't think I really want to eat all of the extremely sugary things. Plus, I also need to get some protein bars as well. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna spend all my money in Disney or Universal in like those kiosks buying $5, $10 protein bars. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and this is such a sidestep here, but because we're on it, it wouldn't be like us.
No.
So, like, you obviously have your routine in place now, right? And that's really, really working well for you. You can see that change physically, mentally, emotionally, everything, right? It's really working for you. The way you've changed your diet, even like the lunch boxes, the food prep, all of that to actually eat what you're really needing to eat rather than what your eyes are telling you need to eat, okay? So it sounds really good that you're going out of your way to, get protein in because you need that. You don't want to have like I don't know whether you'd even kind of go into a dysfunctional state over there if you don't get what you need. But like, you're not going to have the same routine here over there, but you're going to have to keep it as close as possible just so that you can regulate.
At least, yeah, in some way, absolutely.
Yeah.
Only because I know that for those 2 entire weeks, the only me time is going to be
Mm,
if I wake up early, and I
yeah.
doubt that I will, or if I do, it's still the same room, it's still the same hotel room. So you kind of want to be quiet. Or when I'm asleep, then I'm going to get my alone time. So I feel like I'm going to probably need like a week at least afterwards to just, marinate in Jake juice.
Mm,
You.
just like, it's like bed raw, but it's just like all day raw. Just no one come near me.
Yeah.
And that's tough, right? Because trying to give yourself that time, but then also having your job and all of the things that you need to do anyway, like you have to come back to a lot of responsibility anyway. I wonder, is there ways that you could maybe fit in little mini kind of like rot sessions, let's say, but it's not even that. It's like an energy regulator or something, like a
During.
grounding session for you during the holiday, like where you go, okay, it's whatever time I'm up before everybody else. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go out for a walk. And that's you giving yourself that time to just, I'm going to be around all this energy all day. I just need to do this for me. This is literally telling myself, I love you. Like, I love my family, but I love me more. And I have to give myself this.
Yeah, see, something that worked really, really well in Madrid was I really needed like a few minutes to myself. So
Yeah.
everybody, all of the guys that were there were going to a roller coaster, and I was like, mm-mm, no, I'm gonna just stay here on the ground, watch you
And use cue.
take videos,
Yep.
and they can queue, they can go, and that's it. Those, whatever, 30 minutes or even less, like 15, 20 minutes, really all I needed.
But it's like if you don't give yourself that, let's say you're going away now for 2 weeks, if you don't give yourself even a little bit of that every day and that builds up, that's then coming back to you being in a space where you're so burnt out from being around everyone's energy. You're like, I need, yeah, I think gradual little mini breaks throughout the holiday, even if it's not at the exact same time every day, but as close as, like
Mm.
maybe I'll get up in the morning and give yourself that time because you're an early riser anyway.
I try. Also, I won't be able to really relax when I come back because the first week
Mm.
back, I have 11 one-on-ones, hour long, hour long. And that's excluding all of the meetings, all of the other meetings.
It's Yeah, that's exhausting. That's exhausting. I had that converse. Sorry, that was my phone vibrating.
Was it
I'm
just
making all the
your
noise
phone?
today. It's my phone. I'm gonna move it away over here. Um, I've lost my trail of thought. Oh, I was talking to somebody the other day in work, that's kind of looking to come into our role. I always like to think, when somebody asks me what I do, I want to be completely honest about the job. I don't want to fluff it up. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's the best thing ever. I want to be so blunt, honestly, because you want to know what's behind the curtain before you open the curtain. You do. You don't want to just be shell shocked.
Most of the time,
So
yeah.
I had the yeah, I had the conversation, and I was very honest in the most professional sense, obviously, to let them know, tailoring your approach for different people, and then obviously there's all the energy that goes into, like what you just said, like 11 1 hour one-to-ones, like that's so much energy. And it can feel like you're having the same conversation with different people. You forget what you said to one person. Did I say it to everybody? It's a lot. It's note taking. It's keeping yourself accountable with following up on things you don't know the answer to in those moments. It's like there's so much in it. But if you said it to someone that didn't do our job, they'd probably turn around and go, "Oh, so like you just have meetings all day."
Yeah. Do you want to swap? Do you want to swap? Like,
Yeah, do you want to take my job? Do you want to do it for the week, and we'll see how that goes?
yeah. Dealt with customers yelling on the phone, yelling in all caps, in chat and an email, in person in retail. I've dealt with that.
Yep,
But the customer
yep.
leaves. You never need to talk to them again. So you can kind of block off. But when you're working with somebody daily, you can't really block off the energy because people
No.
feel that and you're losing trust, you're losing rapport, you're losing everything essentially. So you can't
Yep.
really protect yourself. You kind of can. You kind of can if you know how to, but in the end it's more about giving at least some of you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, because I think in our job, if you're not authentic, it's you can people can like smell it.
Oh,
They can
yeah.
see it, they can smell it, they can identify like, oh, you're just being fake right now. Um and I've seen all different types of managers at this point, because like when you think about it, we're both in corporate like the best part of a decade now, each in different jobs, like, and we've all had a manager that's very like micromanagey, doesn't give a shit about your development, doesn't give a shit about you, where you're like, oh wow, okay. And then you've had people that care too much, and I'd like to put us into that bracket where we definitely care too much, and that in itself can be detrimental too, because you're like, I want the best for this person, I want to help them, where's the boundary? It's very hard to have boundaries, sometimes when you're trying to do the right thing and be the best version of yourself that you can be to help everyone around you.
I started laughing so much because I just remembered when I was sitting outside one of the meetings that you were having here. That was the fakest, that's not a word, the most fake you have ever sounded. Like the way you talk when there's like a lot of people listening.
Mm,
It just goes very high.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my God, who was this?
yeah.
Who was this? The celebrity? I did them myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, what's her name? I have to Google that now.
No.
She went out with Kanye.
Was it Kanye?
She went out with She went out with Kanye, I'm pretty sure. Julia Fox.
Yeah, yeah,
I did it
yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I made it myself. Yeah, yeah. I made it myself. Yeah, yeah. It's like they're talking about her outfit or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Julia
Mm-hmm.
Fox. Yeah, I think I have my customer service thing. That's always been the case. Even when I'm like dealing with like, if I'm buying something, I'm like, yep, no, that's everything. Thanks so much. And I definitely go like up here, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why I do that. That is a part of me though. It's always been there ever since I was a kid. Like, because I've always tried to be friendly to waiting staff, friendly to anyone that's in some sort of service. And it's the same energy I take on when I'm looking after my people. Now, don't get me wrong, when I'm in one-to-ones with people, that version of me might come out a little bit, but I'd probably be a little bit more grounded. But I don't like talking with big groups of people. My mind goes 90. I don't like public speaking. I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
Yeah, we were
It
talking
gives me
about
the
this.
ick. It gives me the ick. And for years I did fake that, where I did performing arts. I used to go up and recite monologues. I used to do all these things, but when it really comes down to it, and I sit, like, I get into my body, I'm so uncomfortable. I hate it, you know?
I don't think I mind it. I'm not, I know that just constantly being in front of people did affect me. I don't think I
Mm.
minded that much because it's a persona, you know? It's, I can take this
That's my
persona, you
persona.
know, put it on, and
Mm.
then afterwards
Hmm.
I can put it back in the box. So I've kind of learned that.
Yeah.
But I just had a random idea.
Hmm.
You worked on phones, have you?
Oh God, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
He just reminded me of something.
Go on.
So I used to work for I used to work in a gym. Well, I worked at a few gyms, but I worked in one particular gym, and I also worked in a fast food place, takeaway. And they were both like, with both jobs, you did actually have to deal with phones. Like if you were on the reception in the gym, you answered the phone and you'd say, "Hi, my name, like, welcome to blah blah blah," or whatever the name of the place. Jenny here. How can I help? Whatever. And then when you were in the fast food takeaway, "Hi, welcome to blah blah blah. My name is Jenny. How can I help you? What can I get you? Whatever." And I used to work 7 days a week. Obviously, why wouldn't I? And it was such a way that, like, all through the week was the gym, and the weekends, like anywhere from around Thursday to Sunday, was like different shifts of working in that place. And I was clearly burnt out. I was clearly running on empty, but that ADHD just kept me going. And because I was in fitness as well, I'd imagine I just kept it kept me going. And I remember working a shift in the gym, and I was so tired, so tired. And I answered the phone one day and I said, "Hi, like, welcome, whatever, the fast food place, basically." And the person on the other end of the phone was like, uh, "Oh, sorry, wrong number." And then, like, hung up. And after I realized what I said, I was like, "Oh, shit." And then they rang back again, and I answered the phone this time. I was like, "Hi, blah, 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 Jim." And they were like, "Oh, sorry, did I don't know what happened there. Did I?" And I just pretended like nothing happened. I was like, "Sorry? Oh, I don't know. Like, can I?" But like on the inside, I was like, "Oh my
Oh.
God." I don't know how that happened. Like, or I don't even know how it only happened once, because your brain is like trying to remember where you're at in the moment, what you need to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
phone support
Do
sucks.
you still remember your phone
Mm.
support voice? Because I think I do. I'll give you my example. Wait, what company am I
Okay.
going to say? I'll say JJ Unplugged. The phone rings. Thank you for contacting JJ Unplugged. My name's Jake. How can I help you today?
I can't for the life of me. Like, I had such a great script for the last corporate place that I worked for, and I'm trying to think. And it would have been that same, "Hi, welcome to blah blah blah. My name is Jenny. How can I help you today?" And it was a real, you know. And then when I'd need information, it was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna pull that up there. Can I get your account details, please? Thank you so much." Like, real friendly, calm. And there was this one guy, this one old man that used to call in, and he was so creepy. He used to ring around, and he'd ring until he got a woman, just because he wanted to be
Of
creepy.
course.
And all of the women were like, "I'm not answering the phone to him. I hate that guy." Da da da. Da. Obviously, me being me, I was like, "I don't give a shit. Like, I'll talk to him. It's like, I'm in my shift. I don't care." He'd ring up and he'd just be on the phone for hours. He'd be like, "I just love the sound of your voice." And I'd be like, "Thanks so much. That's so nice of you." Like, but it was like he was literally, it was like he was ringing up for. It was almost like, do you remember that one thing that used to be on years ago where it'd be like, "Welcome to Babe Station, 1-800-69-69-69. Call now. Our girls are waiting."
Hmm.
Like that kind of energy, where I'd pick and choose on the day what kind of voice I wanted to have. Like, if I was in a good mood, I'd actually be really calm, and I'd be like, "That's no problem. I'm just going to check that out for you now. Just a sec." And people would be like, it was like ASMR for people in their ears. I'd
Hmm.
say they were like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sexy," you know?
Yeah. But you just reminded me of, oh my God, where have all the phone girl ads gone from TV? That's not a thing anymore because there
That's
used to be.
OnlyFans. OnlyFans is a
Yeah,
thing.
because I still remember that at like 11 p.m.,
Mm,
12,
mm.
there would always be this ad on Latvian television. It was in Latvian, but it was basically two lonely girls miss you. Call 9-800-1990-10. If you'd like, you can also order our panties by post. Still remember to this day.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. I remember the Babe Station ones. Like they were so funny. Or what there was like these shows that used to come on once that was like a channel where you might be watching like Friends or something, and all of a sudden it just switch and it'd be like porn. And you'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Like I
Mhm.
don't even know how we got down this route of talking about this, but I love where our podcasts take us.
I mean, we are talking about keeping it together. Dot,
I don't
dot,
think we
dot.
can.
But keeping it together now that you have multiple Instagram accounts, right? Tell me, what do you think about social media pressure to present perfection, right? Because
Ah.
just for some context, I'm just going to share my example because I used to have multiple Instagram accounts as well. And probably a lot of you don't know this, but I had like 2 years or something when I was a beauty influencer, like testing makeup products on YouTube and then posting videos. I
Hmm.
deleted all of those accounts. I still have some of the videos. I still have them somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you know where to dig, you can probably find them in one of my. I think it's in one of my saved Instagram stories, to be honest. But
Yep.
that was so much pressure. Had my filming days, I had my editing days, then I had to plan social content. Everything had to be like perfect. Now, these days, social media, Instagram and so on for the newer generations, it's these photos basically,
Yeah.
or just candid photos with like blur. And I'm like, that's that would never fly a few years.
I think social media pressure is terrifying now compared to what we would have known. Like, because I mean, social media only really started for me. Like, I wasn't a MySpace girly, I was a Bebo girly or tagged. And when it started, like early 2000s, it was so new. And yeah, you did take time to like straighten your hair and fix your eyeliner and, whatever, and look really pretty and get like the angles. But there was no editing pictures back then. There was no filters. There was no like Facetune, really, any of that kind of stuff back then. We just posted, like, you went to a nightclub and the pictures were like a blur of you, like in the room, like, "Ooh," and during the night, you're like, these are so cute. Can't wait to post them. And then you look the next day and you're like, is everything okay at home? Like, what? But the social media pressure piece, I think, is terrifying now because you've the likes of AI where they can actually edit videos where you're like, is this even real? You don't even know what's real anymore. And the pressure is real. It's so there. Um, I think the most I ever did was like maybe put a filter on through the app itself. I've never edited any of my pictures. I've never felt the need to. And I would be very critical of myself anyway in the way that I look. Like, I'd see a picture, I'd take a few pictures, and then I'd look through them, delete which ones I went, because I'd sit and I'd really look at them and go, don't like that. And then I delete it. And then I'd hone in on what I thought or I perceived to be the best of the bunch. And I'd post that. But I'd never edit them. But I had a conversation with someone this week, believe it or not, around a particular person who portrays themselves to be something, but yet they're getting a lot of, let's say, cosmetic work done, edits every single picture that they put up on social media to portray themselves as like this pure version of themselves. And I'm like thinking to myself, it's really shit. I mean, like, not shit, like, as in that's so shit that they do it. They're doing it because they're insecure. They're doing it because they're obviously there's wounding there. And we all have wounds. We all have them. But it's sad. It's sad that we feel like we can't show that authentic version of ourselves. Like, it's not going to be accepted, and we're not even accepting ourselves in those moments. So yeah, I think it is shit. I don't feel more pressure having multiple accounts because one is obviously me sharing the work that I do, the holistic work and holding space for people, and that I will be my most authentic self. They will get a real version of me in how I hold space, and I won't sugarcoat anything. Whereas my own social media account is just like, yeah, cool, just nice things. And I don't post a lot anyway. I'm very aware of that. I don't post for attention. I just post to be funny or because I just really want to share something.
Mm.
So there was a shift there. Whereas before I look back on my selfies and I'm like, Jen. Like the validation wound was, it was very prevalent.
You did say that back in the day people didn't edit their photos. Every single photo that I used to post online, starting when I was like whatever,
Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. I didn't know how to edit.
that's
I was a little bit of a silly Billy. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have that advantage.
I
So it
learned
was never a thing.
I learned Photoshop at that age so that I can edit all of my images. And editing one image took
Mm,
some time. It was like 2 hours to edit one image, and only then I would post it. But now I
it's exhausting.
I think only in the last few years I've started to just not really care. Also, I kind of look nice,
Mm.
but but God, that was cringe. I don't think so. But posting out applying filters because the older I get, and I think we talked about this in one of our first episodes, the older I get, the less shit I
Less.
give.
Hmm.
Because if I post something, I post it because I want to,
Yeah.
not because I'm expected to, you know?
Mm. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I always say this to you, and it's not because you're my best friend. It's because it's true. You're like a little fine wine. You just get better with age.
Thank you.
So you're
A
welcome.
little white wine,
A little white wine spritzer.
sparkly. Oh, yeah. New hair, who dis, eh?
Exactly. You've never looked more Latvian than you do right now, and I'm so here for it. Embrace the mun. That man bun needs to come.
Well, I can start talking with a little bit of an accent. I don't think
Sergey?
I don't think a lot of people talk like this anymore, but when I was growing up, especially the older generation, it's not really like a Russian accent. It is more trying to pronounce words as they are written.
Da, darling.
No, my Russian accent is different. A Russian accent is
Da.
is more like I want to punch your horse in the face. Uh,
Oh.
like, thank goodness cancel culture isn't really a thing anymore.
Listen, we just have to be ourselves. We can't, you know, be a version of ourselves that people want us to be. We have to be authentic, and that includes on the podcast, you
I
know.
mean,
Neurodivergence.
it is wild where our brains sometimes takes us. But yeah, continuing to talk about like keeping it together,
Mhm.
even looking back at when I posted all of the photos for validation and so on, why do you think, or not why do you think, but why is this togetherness an illusion? Because we can pretend to have it all together. But even now, in the last couple of minutes, we started so great. We have an agenda. But then it just,
I prefer that. I prefer to not have an agenda. Like I have like I always look at things like that as like talking points, but not like I want to be script informed, not script driven, if that makes
no, I
like, you
completely,
know, the data points are there. I yeah, I don't like the rigid approach, you know, to stay in. And it makes sense. And I've actually had feedback from people about the podcast where they've said, I love like listening to it because it sounds like you're just like two friends just having a chat. It doesn't feel forced. And I want to maintain that where we're just ourselves. We're being blunt at times, we're being whatever way, but we're just being ourselves.
100% agree. But
Yeah.
think about, I know that people have said to me that, oh my God, like you have everything together and it really looks like you're winning at life. But
Yeah.
why do you think people have that illusion? Because I know that a lot of people think that about you as
Yeah. Maybe it's the Capricorn moon where I'm like, what emotion? Um I think I've always had to have my shit together. Maybe that's what it is. Like even from a young age, I've always kind of had to have my shit together. Like I was really sulky and like moody as a kid, but then I think something obviously told me, you know, that version of you was not accepted. You need to just have your shit together and get things done. So that's what I grew up with, that kind of energy. Not in a bad way, just that's the way it was. And I learned from a young age to just have my shit together. And I've been through a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to downplay that. There's been a lot of stuff over the years, a lot of traumatic experiences and things that I wouldn't wish upon anybody, even an enemy. Not that I have any, but yeah, have gotten that. I have gotten that from people where they're like, "Oh, you just seem so this, you seem so that," and I'm like, "Have you been in here? Like, get in there, climb in." Um, I think it's because we're led to believe that we need to be that version of ourselves. Maybe I'm speaking
Yeah.
for myself here, obviously, but there is definitely something out there that, if you're the person, if you're the safe person in the room, you're the one that people come to. So it's nice that we've met each other and we actually can be that for each other, because I know you're like one of my safe people where like I can just fall
Same.
apart and you get to see the realist version of me. And you don't even have that often where you pop off. And when you do pop off, you get it out of your system. It's like 5 minutes later, you're like, okay, I'm fine now. And I'm like, no, have more of like an outrage. Like, just like lose your shit for like at least a day. But you've got it down to a T where you're like, no, I'm fine now. It's fine. It's gone.
Yeah, no, but that's because it's been a lot of hard work. And I
Yeah.
used to be upset for a very, very long time, and I couldn't get over
Yeah.
things. And I was festering, just
Yeah.
uh
Sitting with it.
boiling, a very long time, a very long time. And then just through a lot of internal work, working with myself, trying to figure out how does this how does this matter? How does this impact me? Constantly asking this question. All right, I'm upset. That's fine. Can you do anything about it? Then do it.
Mm,
If you can't do anything about it, then why are you still thinking about it? And that thinking about that one sentence essentially, whenever I'm upset, really helps me get over things very quickly. Now, I've also found that if I am really upset about something, I will
mm-hmm.
find someone to rant about it, like you, for example, and that will help me process those emotions quicker because I'm doing them either typing or speaking. Doesn't For me, it doesn't matter. For me, just
Yeah.
getting the words or text out really helps. And sometimes it
Yeah.
can really be just a few back and forth text messages. Yeah, I'm fine. you know?
I love that though, and that's something that I love about you is that like I know you've done so much work on yourself over the years. Like I only have the privilege of 7 of those years to know you, but I know you've done a lot of work on yourself because we've talked about, how life was for you back when, different stages. So it's so clear that you've done the work. So to have that turnaround where you actually get to sit in things, but you don't fester. You don't let them just sit and make you sick. You sit, you process, and then you're like, cool, okay, and you're moving forward. I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
And it actually teaches me as well. You've actually helped me a lot because you watched me go through my chaotic moment. Well, moments, plural.
But also, I know that a lot of people might hate this, but I like calling you out, not calling you out as in, "Oh, what the heck are you doing?" But when you're going through a moment and I'm trying to talk to you, just saying,
Yep.
like, I know you're not hearing anything. So I can be
Oh, it's good for me.
I can be here for you, but then me calling you out on you being in that super protective mode usually helps you drop it quicker.
Yeah.
It might not be in the
Yeah.
same conversation, but even
Yeah.
like an hour later, you're just going to be like, okay, right. What were you saying?
No, I love that. I love that though. And I actually really respect that. I'd rather someone is honest to me. Like that's something I've learned over time is when someone is honest and says something to me, maybe that I don't want to hear, that means they love me. That means they care. They're not trying to fill my head with shit or tell me what I want to hear. And I'm not going to improve. I'm not going to get better. I'm not going to, move through things in a better way unless these things happen. So like what you said there, when you kind of go, you're not here right now. You're not in the room with me. There's just, whatever else. That actually made me sit back and go, oh, wow. Didn't even realize that was happening. Like I was disassociating, I was doing whatever. So now when I have those moments, I actually can check in on myself, even if it's around other people, like even with my partner. He actually started doing it now, which is really great because I told him that you do that with me And it's so funny though, because like if you call me out, I'm like, cool. If he does it, I'm like, like that poor man, that poor man. I wouldn't mind. You're both cancers, and you both have the same level of attention and care in you. I know, but like, yeah, he'll. I'll say you can tell by me when I'm listening. I'll be like, yeah, yeah, or whatever else. He knows now. He's like, are you hearing me? Are you in the room? He says things like that now, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just. And then I catch myself and go, yeah, sorry, babe, I'm just doing whatever. But it's a really good way to bring me back into the space and make me aware of, okay, I'm actually fading out. My brain is doing that fucking ADHD thing where I'm like, there's the inattentive energy.
Would you say that it also depends on how that is said? Because for me, that the way something is said to me is way more important than what is
Oh
said.
God. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, I've kind of gotten, like, I definitely would have been a lot more sensitive with the way things were said to me a couple of years ago. Whereas now, I don't get as offended as I would have. Like, I would have gotten very, very, like, emotionally, like, I would have gotten very dysregulated. People would say things. I'd sit and I go, what do they mean by that? Or, and I get real in my head. But, like, for example, I have my college therapist. I have to go and do my hours, and I love her. She's a firecracker. She's in her mid 60s. I have so much time and respect for this woman. And we're nearly 20 sessions in. And it takes a lot for me to let the guard down. I know that. And it takes a lot for me to trust people. Like, I let people in, so to speak, and it's probably more trauma bonding than anything. And then I'm like, oh, I love them. But like it does actually really take me a long time to let people in.
Yep.
They might think they're in, but they're not actually in, kind of thing. Um, so like with her, she will say things to me, and she's very good. She'll sit and she'll go, just let me sit and think about how I want to articulate this with you, Jennifer. And I'll go, oh, I sit up in my chair immediately. I'm like, oh, I love when she gets, it's not even fight me energy. It's like she has so much consideration, and she knows by me, because she sits there analysing the shit out of me, obviously. She knows I'm defensive. She knows I'm guarded. I don't cry a lot. And I think when I do, she's probably on the inside going, yes, she did it. So she takes her time. That's every therapist's dream. You're like, they cried. Yes, they did it. But she does take her time to how she wants something to be said to me. But because she's been doing that from the start, the amount of trust we've built together, like the therapeutic relationship is solid. That if she turned around to me and she called me out, I'd go, no, you're fucking right about that. No, I am an asshole. I did do that or whatever. And she said, and I want you to do that with me. I would think at this stage, she said this the other day, she said, I would want you to turn around. And I'd hope now at this point you would turn around and go, no, and you disagree with me. And I said, yeah, I would. So doing that has actually helped me. It's like trust falls with people. So when you do it with me, it's a trust fall.
Mm.
You have me. You care enough to point it out. That means you love me enough. That's perfect. So when people are doing that, they're a safe person rather than someone bullshitting me and telling me what I want. No, you're perfect. You're great. No, I'm not. Call me the fuck out. You know?
Mm. Staying on the topic, let's talk
Mm.
about work because I know I can write everything about what I'm not happy about, what isn't working well, share it with my peers, share it with others, but I have had very poor experiences sharing any feedback to higher ups, like managers and
Mm.
above, that somehow it has always come back to bite me,
Mm.
even though it was more like I'm just telling you because either this is how I feel or it is impacting me or this isn't working. But whenever I say some things like face to face, I can sometimes sound like a dick because of my bluntness, even though I don't mean it, you know?
I feel like that's a multitude of things for you as well. It's like the Eastern European thing, the ADHD thing. Like there's a few bits in there where sometimes you say things and people are like, "Ugh, rude," and it's like, what was rude about that? I was just being honest, like
Yeah.
just gonna shake some branches." Um, yes, but I think you've gotten a lot better at that though, because I know there was definitely times, even when you would have been in a different role, for example, and you would have shared your what's the word? You're upset, your anger, but you would have done it in a certain way, and then that would have been frowned upon, and you would have got constructive feedback on that would have made you just go, right, well, I'm just not going to say anything, fuck yous all, and you just shut down. Whereas now I think you take the time, you're very diligent in sitting down with your feelings. Do I want to say this? And you really like you go through the process where you're like, what could the outcome be here? What am I looking to gain? Will I let it go? Will I say something? Like, you really think things through before you delve in.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think anything is worth it enough for me not being able to let it go and live with it when it comes to a manager, a director, a different department, whatever, you know. I just don't think having that conversation, it has never shown that it's gonna have any impact, you know. If it will, then
Mm,
it's just gonna usually have a negative impact in how people see me. So these days I'm just kind of like, you know what? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. If
yeah.
things start upsetting me too much and I can no longer let it go, I'm just, look for something else.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, if we even just examine that, there's definitely a trust piece, like not like a trust piece, a safety piece, even. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
A safety piece in that. You want to feel like you can express yourself and be your authentic you, right? Bring that version of yourself. But if that voice is not being heard, why would you share then? You're just going to shut down and you're going to give a version of yourself. So you're not really living in your full authenticity, let's say. You're just giving a version and it's watered down. It could be to keep the peace, it could be for a multitude of reasons. I think for me, I've just come back off of a sabbatical, and that throat chakra is open. So when things are affecting me or bothering me, I don't hold it in anymore. I say it. And I do now. Actually, I have taken a leaf out of your book with this, where I actually sit down now and think about, how do I want to say this? How do I want to write this? What do I want to convey? And then I go with it. I used to be a lot more reactive, whereas now, in the moment when somebody says I am something, or they try to give me a definition of something, like, oh, you did this, you are this, I don't get like anymore. I just sit back and go, that's their perception. Okay. And then I go into question mode. And what I've found is 9 times out of 10 recently, that actually calls them out on their shit. And then they end up eating their words. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm visiting this with you. Like, I want to explore this. If somebody says I am X, I want to know why I'm X.
Mhm.
Do you get
Yeah.
me?
No, absolutely. I hate that I'm going to say this, but in that area, I am such a cancer because I'm gonna start fully open. I'm gonna start like trusting and so on. This is with like people that I will probably never see again, you know. But the moment you do me wrong and the moment
Burned
you hurt me, I w-
in the shell.
I won't get angry. I will just
No,
be
you'll
as
get in your shell.
cold as possible. We're still gonna
He's
have a
in.
professional relationship, but that's all you're gonna get from me.
Yeah. Into the shell he goes. It's wild. But look, that's how the cancer protects itself. Is it goes back into its shell and it does what needs to be done, because you feel a lot, and I used this example recently, even just with my partner, because he is a cancer. It took me a long time to realize, like, I would have definitely looked at water signs before and said, like, oh god, these are like so emotional, like it's a bit dramatic, like it's a bit too much, it's so much. Because I go straight to logic. I'm an air sign, and a lot of my signs in my chart are air or earth. There's no water placements, so I don't have that depth to me, I feel, that a lot of people around me would have. So I'll intellectualize, I'll go into logic more than emotion. A lot of the times I'm trying to figure things out. That's why I get so frustrated, because I can't just get to the emotion, whereas you could get to the emotion a lot quicker. You know what I mean? So even with my partner, I would have been like, why is he just having such an emotional reaction to the? And then I realized, and a lot of things kind of came to the forefront for me, where I sat back and went, there, like, the depth that a water sign has is beautiful. It is actually like, you guys are as deep as the ocean, if not deeper. Like it just keeps going. And it teaches me how to have more depth in things, how to actually engage with emotions more so that I might find like have difficulty with. Whereas like I have one water sign friend that actually says this about herself. She's like, I hate it. I hate how emotional I am. And I stopped her and said, I think it's beautiful. I think you're lucky that you can connect with emotions that quickly. Because from my perspective, it's actually hard for me. Whereas you get there, so like, oh, I cried for like an hour. I'm like, really? I'm sitting there like onions in front of me. I'm like, just cry, like trying to squeeze out a tear. It's hard. You guys are like, I just broke down crying at this advert that came on, and I'm like, God damn it, I wish, I wish I could do that.
Do you never
I don't think it's a bad.
cry? Do you never cry in movies?
I cry, yeah, I would cry at romance movies, definitely.
Hmm.
If there's something, it's usually like if someone dies. Um, yeah, it's usually romance. Like I'll be like a little baby, but like not all the time. It's quite hard for me to get emotion out. So like if somebody like you see that side of me, the emotional side where I'm upset, you've seen me cry, but that's when there's probably alcohol involved. So I'm under the influence of alcohol that it actually softens the blow. I'm not as much in my mind, so the wall comes down. Do you know? So it's yeah. I would say
Yeah.
don't ever look at it as a bad thing. I think the depth that you have is beautiful.
For me, I d- I stopped crying um, in secondary school, but
Mm.
every time I'm watching a Disney movie, every time when there's this, not the sad moment, but the reunion moment, like
Okay.
how you go kind of like when you reach the peak, then it's the music, it's what's happening. I'll just be sitting there either at home or in the cinema, and it's just like, it's so
I
funny.
love that.
I just got teary-eyed. I used to be able to cry
I
on
love that.
cue.
See, that's maybe all actors out there are secretly a cancer, like if that's the case. Because fuck, I'd love like I can't. There's times where I want to, and it's just nothing is coming out, and I'm like, I just cannot connect with those tear ducts. I just, I just like someone put an onion in front of me, please. It's a toughie.
But also tears have different chemical structures. So
Yeah, yeah.
usually the tears that I cry when I watch a movie, I haven't looked into this, or if I have, I've forgotten. But usually the tears that I cry during movies are so toxic. Like my eyes will hurt, like painfully hurt.
Oh,
But
okay.
I
I've had,
no no go on.
go ahead. I've had cries where like I get like it's all throat, where like when the cry happens, where it's like my throat is burning, like it's stinging, burning, so painful from crying. It's like the cry is coming out of my eyes, obviously, but like it's coming out my throat as well. Does that make sense?
No, but yes. I haven't experienced
Like
it.
it
That's why I can't.
burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I've just made a connection with. Like I know that happens, but that makes so much sense. Like where I'll cry and like I want stuff to come out of that throat chakra. It needs to come out, and I'm like, like whatever happens with my throat, it like closes it or clenches or something happens, and it like burns. The cry burns.
Interesting. I know that.
I'm gonna have to visit that.
Yeah, I know that with eyes, it also has something to do with, like if you have regularly dry eyes or if your eyes get red easily, then your tear ducts might be blocked, so you need to put like heat compresses. And I did that for a while, but then I didn't like the feeling that when I took it off, it just felt like I couldn't see anything for like 30 minutes. I hated that feeling, so I just stopped. But you're supposed to like your tear ducts so that they open up, which means they could be blocked. That's why either you're not crying or when you cry, it can be more painful because your eyes are rehydrating essentially. And because tears can be slightly more salty or whatever the correct term is,
Yeah,
depending on why you're crying, it can be more or less painful.
I love that we're learning all these facts right now. Like, oh my god, But that makes so much sense because there's times where I'll cry and my eyes are so puffy afterwards. Like my eyelids will be just so puffy and it's like painful puffy. But like a little compress, and that makes so much sense. Just like come in here with a little compress afterwards and be like, it's okay, baby girl. It's okay. Love that.
Yeah.
I hope our listeners learned something today around crying. If you're all out there having a little sneaky cry and your eyes get puffy like your girl here, compresses. We're here for it.
I just don't know whether it's cold or hot for that. Depuffing, I'm guessing cold probably.
Warm opens the pores, cold closes.
Yeah, because if you're puffy, you probably
Need
want,
to open
you-
to
I
release.
think you probably need to condense it, you know, boost the swelling. There we go.
I'm gonna Google this now.
There we go. There's the Google say.
Google. Let me see here. Use a cold compress for puffy eyes
Ha.
and crying, lack of sleep, reduce swelling by constricting blood vessels. Use a warm compress for dry eyes. Styles or relieve tension by improving blood flow or opening oil glands. Interesting.
Thank you.
So cold for the puffiness after a cry. For all ye out there watching Disney movies and having a little cute cry. Love that.
And hot to help crying.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you want to relax your eye muscles or open up your pores and, or if your eyes feel tired, things like that. Yeah. Warm compress. Nice to know that.
All right. We are essentially at the end. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
I do not know a single person who has it all together. Cracks.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
I wanted to say
There's,
cracks don't make you weak. They make you human. And then if you stick them together, glue them together with the gold glue, you know those cute, what is it, Japanese mugs, I think, that you, or dishes that you break and then you stick together and then,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
shiny, and make it pretty. So the more you crack,
And
the better you get.
absolutely. But also, while we're on that, because we talked about crying so much, if you find that you're a crier and you cry in places like your work or whatever else, congratulations, you're human, and we're all out here just trying to keep our shit together and giving versions of ourselves that we think need to be seen. But it's okay. It's okay to cry.
Yeah, exactly. And if you ever want to share your best cry story, hit us up, leave a comment. See us on where are we? We're on Instagram, we are on X, we're on Threads, we're on Blue Sky, I
Are
think,
we
as
in?
well. I mean, I created all of the accounts. I don't think
Did we make a TikTok?
we're on TikTok as well. Yeah, we really need to start
Nice.
posting some of the snippets because this is what, the
Yep.
fifth episode or sixth? I don't even
Yeah.
remember.
Next. We're growing.
We're growing. We're growing.
We're growing. We're growing.
We're
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna have to.
this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for engaging in this
Yeah. Back and
volleyball,
forth.
emotional volleyball.
I loved it. That was it. We're here for it.
We're here for it. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wonderful whatever. And
Hmm.
once again, thank you for listening to JJ Unplugged. I'm Jake.
And I'm Jenny. Bye, guys.
Bye.